Section.
Hello, good evening. I'm Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew, and you're here for this week's edition of Schmoebates. What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for hopping on, and I am joined with the very, very popular in the fan leagues, Mr. Corey Quinto. I'm a little biased, if I do say so myself, but what's up, Corey? How you doing?
I am doing great. Just got off work, and I was just having a nice day, minding my own business until I found out that Brandon Hanna was supposed to be here, and then he canceled, and then you called me here. So I said, sure, why not? But it's always great to be here. So
Hannah, that bitch. No, just kidding. He's a delightful person. I love him. Yeah, things happen, but it's all good.
We love you, Brandon.
But thank you so much, Corey, for stepping up and being able to hang out with me tonight and kind of going over about this. We are going to be watching these two badass competitors really do some really intense debates on some couples-themed, Valentine's Day-themed questions, Corey. Yeah, so going into this match, I did kind of let you know some of the questions in particular. Now, like I mentioned, so is there any particular aspect of Schmoebates that you really like?
I mean, some of these questions get very creative. The last time I was here was the very first time, and I've been wanting to come back in the co-hosting gig ever since. And thanks for making the time for that. But all kidding aside, these questions are really good, and I think we're in for a very good battle.
Mm-hmm. You know, it's definitely been quite a transition since our first episodes, and it's only been a few months, but you know what, there's always room for improvement. As I like to say, like my cat here, for example, is very vocal about wanting to improve this show. But that aside, let's go ahead and introduce our competitors. The first, we have one of our competitors that was actually on last night's episode of Rom-Com Exhibition Match, so fantastic. Let's go ahead and bring her up. Miss Peggy.
Hi, guys. Not much. Ready for a heated and spirited debate here.
Do you like debating? Do you like arguing? Is it something you feel like you're good at?
I like a good dialogue back and forth. I don't like it when it's like vitriol, when it's something that's more of a negative tone to it. I like it when it's just a good point after good point and like, fair. You know, I see where you're coming from. I think it's this. Agree to disagree. That type of thing. That's more my speed.
Gotcha. So it sounds like it comes down to you like having a good conversation.
Absolutely.
Essentially, rather than an actual like raw debate.
No, I'm all about love, you know, it's all about inclusivity, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's what, Valentine's Day in February is all about in general. Speaking of generals, holy shnikes, one of my favorite people ever, Jeremiah Morris. What's up, Jeremiah?
What's up, all?
How are you? What's up? I feel like we talk to each other all the time in like the generals chats and everywhere.
Yeah, you were the crazy lady in front of me in the Orlando event.
What? I was like slowly like slaking up like the stage with my claws. I ended up getting like claws for everyone, so I like actually had like 5 or 6 claws. So everyone probably thought I was an alcoholic, but regardless, those things happen. Do you feel like you're really good when it comes to arguments? Is something you're passionate about?
Oh yeah, I love arguments. I mean, I have 4 brothers and 2 sisters, and you couldn't do nothing without a day without getting arguments. Mm-hmm. And it didn't feel like love, like Peggy was talking about, but I think it was in real self.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely comes down to one of those things. I mean, movies is all about arguments and everything like that. That's why it makes us really big fans overall. Okay, well, let's just go ahead and go over just to the chat a little bit. We have some love for Miss Peggy, leader of Team Baton, actually. Well, my bad. I don't want to bring that one up. Mike, what's up? Peggy G, best co-host in the biz.
Hey,
just
Tony.
She's not co-hosting. She's debating. So even better. And we have some other people just kind of reaffirming Jared says it's argument movie fights as well. Yeah, but just clarifying a little bit there, Bateman is Gary's favorite. Are you a Ben Bateman fan, Jared?
Okay, I knew I was going to get this. I knew I was going to have a fight before the fight. Okay?
No.
Do you like championship belts?
No. They're heavy. They get in the way. Have a big belly. They don't fit right. Okay, so I don't want any more near him. Okay, I like style. That's why team guy for life.
There you go, my man. That's why you're an Action General for life. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it. Corey and I are going to be moderating and judging you guys together here for this episode of Schmoebates, and we have some pretty awesome, fun questions. Okay, so how we're going to go about this, if you've ever seen a Schmoebate at all, it kind of dives down like this. We have an opening statement at 60 seconds apiece, followed by 4 minutes of debate between Jeremiah and Peggy, and then last would be a closing statement at 60 seconds apiece as well. Now, for the first question, we are going to be starting off with Peggy. For the second, we go on with Jeremiah, and the final one, it's a whole free-for-all. It's crazy. And yeah, that kind of dives into it. Now, before we get started, again, does anyone have any questions? Or forever hold your peace? Feeling pretty confident? Ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
All right. Okay. And guys, and I just want to reaffirm, please do not put your personal biases into this. If you're all for one team or one person individual, do not vote for them just because you like the person or whatever it be. Vote specifically for their argument. Do you feel like they made a solid argument, even if you don't like the individual or the team or whatever it may be? So that needs to be what's going to be winning you over. Okay. Corey, I know you've been on not in a match, but you've been in an episode before. Do you have any advice for our competitors here today?
Most important, well, I would just say most importantly, just have fun. Just have fun and just do your best. Don't get under the lights. And as far as the bias goes, to quote the great Thanos, make everything perfectly balanced as all things should be.
Corey's wrong. You're not supposed to have fun. The point of this is to win. So I just want to
quote it, Thanos. What do you want from me?
I want answers and I want debates. That's what I want. Okay, Corey. Okay.
Thanos was right, though.
All right, Corey, I know you're going to be in charge of the timer today, and so we're going to go there. So will you do the honors of reading our first question before we dive into our opening statement with Peggy?
Okay, so the first question is, what is the most iconic team in Schmoedown history? And I'm going to start the clock in now.
Well, when this question was posed to us, one team immediately came to mind. Their tenure was very short-lived, more short-lived than most would have liked, but their fire burned so bright that, things just kind of go that way. The iconic shot, I think the cameraman, whoever shot this, should have gotten a bonus. The shot of these two movie trivia goddesses ascending to the stage, championship draped over one shoulder. I am, of course, speaking of the Shire Wolves. And as much laud and just praise that Rachel Cushing has, and as much praise as Clark Wolf gets, I think Clark Wolf is tragically underrated, even though she's still regarded as one of the best. And obviously, Rachel's in the argument for GOAT. So my pick for the most iconic team in Schmoedown history is the Shire Wolves.
And time.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. I hear something in the background. I think it's like a crumbling or something. Do you guys hear it?
Is it this?
Oh, maybe. I'm not entirely sure, but it sounds like something's moving around a little bit.
You know what? I'll put my notes to the side. Let's do it live. Let's go.
Do it live. I dig it. O'Reilly style. Okay, going over to Jeremiah, starting with your opening statement at 60 seconds. And Corey, don't forget to give him a little warning here and there.
Yep.
And go ahead.
And begin.
Okay, my most iconic team, and exactly what Peggy was just saying, except for one team came from mine, it's a completely different one. Okay, that is the Patriots. Okay, this is the iconic heel team. I love team action. Okay, team action is my greatest. But when you come to iconic, you cannot think of any other team than the team that went 9-0. The team that beat above the line. The team that had Christian had to make super teams just to beat them. Okay, this is not two great players, amazing players coming together. This is two players that on every other stage are considered maybe above average, but together as a team, they became the best team of all time and the most iconic of all time. Okay? When you think of teams in the Mount Rushmore, you think of the Patriots.
And time's up.
Okay. Well, we have two very different approaches to this question. I'm excited for them to answer. Sharwolves and the Patriots. Corey, do you feel like you are kind of leaning in one way right out the gate based on their opening statements?
Yeah, I don't want to say who because I want to keep it open-ended, but there's a great argument made for both, so let's just dive right into it.
Absolutely. And again, we are going to put our personal bias aside. We're going to actually pretend almost we know nothing about Schmoedown. So we really want to hear the facts, all the good stuff going into it. Okay, so we have 4 minutes on the clock for your opening debate, starting right now.
3,
Okay,
2, 1,
I'll go ahead.
Go.
I'll go ahead and start us off. Okay, when you talk about iconic teams, we're not talking about the teams we love the most. Okay, we're not talking about the teams that bring the most joy or everything. You know what I think of when I think of the Patriots? I think of the team I hated the most. Okay, I hated these guys. There was nothing these guys could do that make me love them. Okay, and they were a heel team. They were a heel team that did it right, and that is why they're iconic.
But why can't an iconic team be the team that's most beloved, be the team that's the most popular, the one that sells the most T-shirts? Because you want to know, they back that up with wins. They back that up with knowledge. They had one of the most amazing runs that I'm aware of in Schmoedown history as a team. And you know what? I don't think them being beloved, it should be a knock on them.
It's not a knock on them, and you're right. They are beloved. Okay, I'm not arguing that they're beloved. I'm saying hated can be just as good as being loved. Okay, everybody loves the Shirewolves. The Shirewolves are amazing. Okay, that doesn't make them the most iconic. And you talk about runs. Talk about a team that went 9-0. Okay, that's a run. The Shirewolves don't have that run. Okay, Shirewolves don't even come close to that run, and that is where they have their iconic status.
I suppose you might have a point there, but you got to think about the grand scheme of things. I mean, you've got one of these teammates of my choice who's now the new commissioner of the league. The other one's going to be on the desk, as is Clark. But they're just, I don't know how this just, you're just wrong. You're just wrong.
And I appreciate you saying that. But when it comes to iconic, like they said, it's not personal, okay? My favorite team action, they're not on the iconic list, okay? Because this team was two guys, one that had the worst year of his life in the Schmoedown, okay? Then joined with a rookie that we'd never seen play before and became the most important duo in the Schmoedown that grew it from a partial league to a full-blown league. The team's league was considered more valuable at the time because everybody was paying to see who would beat the Patriots.
Okay? I do want to say, I do want to ask us, you're talking about some important matches and everything about like some of the most iconic teams. Can you dive into a little bit specifically about some of the major, most iconic moments of these individual teams?
You want to take the lead?
Oh yeah, I'll go ahead. And the most iconic moment I can think of is when they beat Above the Line in their last win. Okay, because literally Christian had so much to do. He literally had to say, "I need to join Sam Levine and Drew McWeeny together and say these guys are what's going to win me, get me the Patriots away." Okay, and what did he do as soon as the Patriots lost 2 in a row? He split them apart because a team they're that iconic where how great they were just so great he couldn't keep them together. There was no other challenges for him.
And
they'd already made the run that no other team was going to make.
And see, I think that Shiro's are more iconic because they called themselves, like they said, they knew when to call it quits, when to step away from the game. And they played their last match and said, win or lose, we're going to go out the way we went in. We're going to go out fighting. And just them. I'm sorry, I'm freezing right now. I think.
Can I answer? Give you a second, real quick.
Yeah.
The Patriots went out fighting, just like the Shirewolves did. The Patriots went out as champions, almost as champions, and they had to lose twice. They've only lost to one team that's above the line. The Shirewolves have lost to 2.
Sorry, time's up.
Okay, everyone, you guys, let's take a deep breath. That felt like it was kind of personal, almost.
I love the Shire. I just want that to be known. Okay.
Yeah, well,
And I love the Patriots.
yeah, when it comes to creating these arguments, it's really hard not to get personal. I know Peggy, when it comes to being a female fan, I mean, Shire Wolves, I mean,
You run the world.
It's just like what they've done for female competitors and, just for women in the leagues in general, personalities in general, when it comes to Schmoedown. And also the Patriots, you cannot deny that 9-0, 9-1 record, that they're such, powerhouse individual, as a team versus, like you said, something I felt like was a really great moment you actually said was they're okay individually. They're really good individually, but they're amazing together. And that's where they really thrive. So, we have two very different arguments kind of going into this. Corey, is there any particular factoid or anything that you really kind of stood out to you?
As far as factoids, I think I didn't really get an understanding. I don't think I heard enough of the Shire Wolves. I heard a lot about the Patriots.
Okay.
So I was wondering if we could get just like if we could just get some time for the Shire Wolves, because I don't think I heard enough about the Shire Wolves to make a 100% argument.
Okay, absolutely. So yeah, definitely maybe some things going into it about the Shire Wolves for sure, but also Jerry B. I don't want to call you Jerry B. I kind of want to at the same time. Can I call you like Jerry M? Is that okay? I feel like that would be a lot cooler. All right, fantastic. Okay, you guys going to be ready here for your closing statement here in just a few seconds? All right, sure. We have some people in the chat. We got some Frank Janish. Hey, Frank. What's up? There's a lot of okays. You're doing okay a lot. I don't understand. What's this okay? Okay. There's just a lot. You're doing a lot of okays in here. But also, I do want to let you know, you have a very famous person in the chat that's definitely agreeing with you, Peggy, mentioning we are the league. It's one of our iconic moments. So you definitely had to bring that to some attention, some love for sure. But please dive into a little extra attention about some of these more iconic moments, maybe iconic matches or live matches as well. It's so great on both sides. All right, so starting with you, Jerry, 60 seconds.
And go.
Okay, one thing I want to point out with what Christian just said, okay, that we are the league, one of the most famous moments. It really is. But they were not the first women champions. They were the birthday girl. Brienne was the first woman champion, free-for-all belt, okay? And two, they held the Shire Wolves hold the greatest esteem for me. But when it comes down to iconic, the run the Patriots went on, you bring out every single one of those matches, okay? They didn't win by landslides. They didn't do it. They won by just slightly being better than the rest of them, okay? I'm not talking about the best team. I'm not talking about who would win in 1v1 match. I'm talking about iconic. I'm talking about 40 years from now, the Patriots will still be talked about because of their 9-0 run, which will probably never be matched, okay? And I believe the Schmoedown is going to be here 40 years from now, too.
Hot take if I ever heard one. All right. Okay. So one of my big takeaways that you said, Jeremiah, was specifically that when Schmoedown continues in 30, 40 years, when it comes to some of the best teams of all time, you still think that the Patriots are still going to be in that listing of the top teams ever, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Just jotting down. Perfect. All right, Peggy, you got 60 seconds on the clock to make your argument in favor of the Shire Wolves. Let's hit it.
And go.
Now, see, when you're talking about 30 years, 40 years down the line, the Shire Wolves will most definitely be there too. They were great as individual competitors. Rachel was double belted. Clark Wolf nearly got the belt. She took Sam Levine into overtime. Just barely missed it. But when you bring the two of them together, it was magic. It was phenomenal. They are absolutely the most iconic team of the Schmoedown. Like I said, that image, I keep going back to it, but they use it in every promo, that they can put it in there. Those two goddesses ascending to the stage for one last time against corruption. Actually, it probably wasn't the last time against corruption, but it was the live event against corruption. But these two will live on in Schmoedown history, and I think they'll live on even stronger than the Patriots did. Even though the Patriots should be there, I think Shire Wolves is the pick for this question.
And I'm just gonna let the clock die out.
Yeah, I'm dropping the mic.
If you want to omit the rest of the time, totally fine.
I'm dropping the mic. It's the Shire Wolves.
Definitely respect that. Okay, now you guys heard, everyone in the chat, you guys heard the arguments. Who do you guys think won this first question? Was it Peggy in favor of the Shire Wolves? Was it Jerry M in favor of the Patriots? Now, so you guys can definitely click on over to our Facebook page. I'm actually going to link it here below. So you guys can definitely do that right now while the arguments are very fresh in your noggins, or you can wait till the very end. Totally fine as long as you vote. That's very important. Okay, so you can do that whenever it makes you, but it has to be done here ASAP. Otherwise, it's moot point and it won't count. All right. Now we do have some arguments here for both sides. Frank is mentioning for the Patriots, what's more iconic was whooping top 10s 3 times, each one much more brutal than the last. And
I didn't want to bring that up because Roke is going to be here pretty soon. So I didn't
yeah, and I don't understand. I'm not gonna lie. What's going on with this whole okay thing? There's a bunch of people mentioning okay in the comments, and I don't get it. Someone please explain that to me. But yeah, there's also a lot of love in here for specifically for and we got a little bit of a correction as well. Patriots were not 9-0; they were at 9-2 with the 2 losses above the line.
I think what he's referring is that they went 9-0 before they had those 2 losses.
Fair. Okay. Yeah. Sure. Okay. Yeah, but yeah, definitely a lot of love for both sides. So great job, guys. Now, we are going to be mentioning whoever won these individual questions at the end. So definitely hang tight. So we are going to be going into our second question. Now for this one, it's going to be, Jeremiah is going to start with the opening statement as well as the closing statement. And Corey, what is that second question?
Happy to. So the second question is, what new manager / competitor will be the best pairing of the new season?
Oh, manager, competitor.
Yeah.
Like the parent, them coming together is going to be the best new pairing of the season.
Yeah, it was a little wordy on the thing.
Well, get it together, man.
Okay, then.
Fine.
All right. Well, go ahead, and Jerry, you got second for your opening statement. Go ahead. Who did you choose?
Okay.
Go.
Okay, so for this one, again, one obvious answer, Sam Levine and Janine the Machine. Okay? These two people were made for each other. This was when the draft happened. This was my one dream was that Janine, who is one of my favorites, gets paired with Sam Levine, but I thought it couldn't happen because there's no way she's lasting the 3rd round. And as Sam said in his when he drafted her, what kind of idiots didn't draft Janine? Because there is so much potential, and there is one person that can get that potential out of her, is Sam Levine. And there is another thing I'll have later on.
And another thing.
That's it?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, you just saved 12 seconds. That's great.
No worries. If you're able to, honestly, if you give if you have your points really ready to go and you have 30 seconds left on the clock, as long as you make your initial points, you're good. You don't need to fill up the time just because. Okay. All right. 60 seconds on the clock for your opening statement. Peggy, let's go.
All right. When this question was posed to us, I decided to go with a little bit of a dark horse, maybe a pairing that not everyone thought of right away. This manager has managed champions before, and I have a feeling that this competitor, once matched up with her, will thrive. I think there's so much untapped potential in this competitor that it kills me. I'm just I know you know this stuff. Maybe she just freezes a little bit. Maybe that's just my opinion on it. But I think what's going to be the best pairing of the new season is Roxy and Stacey Howard. Mic drop. Done with my opening statement. Let's go.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing is that you guys have two very, honestly, they're kind of similar. Both managers have worked with the champions or were champions in the prior, but you both mentioned the exact same reasons: untapped, crazy, hyped potential. So going to this debate, I'm going to see you guys differentiate a little bit. Okay, starting with 4 minutes on the clock, starting now.
All right, I'll go first since you went first on the last one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've heard Roxy on SEN Live just talking so passionately about her job as a manager and her wanting to cultivate the talent that is within her faction. And I think that's the perfect environment for Stacey Howard to be in. Mm-hmm. I think she is going to be a phenomenal competitor. She's going to be up there with the greats if she just has the right person leading her in the right way, giving her the right strategies. And there's one thing with Roxy that I've noticed: if she ever makes a mistake, savor the flavor, because it's never going to happen again. She's going to learn from it, and she's going to be more strategic and even more aware of what's going on the next time she's up to bat with one of her competitors.
Okay, one thing I want to say was you're saying helping her out. Roxy is an amazing manager, and what she does is calm her players down. She has an amazing thing of when they go high or low, she keeps them level. One thing Roxy doesn't have is the knowledge to help her competitors get better. Okay? She will work her butt off to try, but she does not have that knowledge. That's where Sam Levine is going to be a little different than Roxy. He'll keep her level, but then he'll also be able to show her how he jumped from one of the people that was average in the league, similar stats to what Janine has right now, to arguably in Mount Rushmore, if not in there in the top 5. Okay, that is where I see Janine going from where she is right now to where she's going to be at the end of the year with Sam Levine.
And see, I think Janine's already a badass on her own right now. She's just a couple questions here and a couple questions there. She could be holding a belt right now. Stacey, she hasn't really come that close yet. And I think Roxy's going to be the one to push her up to that edge. And maybe if Roxy's not going to be a competitor, or she never was a competitor, but that means she's more focused on the strategy of it all. She's always thinking 2 steps ahead. She's thinking about her competitors, the next match. She's focused on that and just alone that. And let the competitors let their talent be on display, and she'll put them in a position so they can do that the best way they know how.
You keep saying strategy, but who does Christian Harloff, the creator of the league, say the second best strategist of all time is? That is Sam Levine. Okay, he's the one that elevated that strategy that Ben Bateman then took to another higher level, even though Ben Bateman's a traitor. So all that's what he can do for Janine. Janine has had Jay, who was, I guess, a good friend and everything like that, but Janine has been shaken and has struggled sometimes with the live events and with people just struggling. And then there's one other thing that Sam Levine has that Roxy doesn't. Okay, that's Rachel Cushing in his corner. Okay, and you tell me that Rachel Cushing is not going to get Janine the Machine a belt, I'll call you a liar. Okay, there ain't no way that she.
I'm sorry, who is that you said that Sam has in the corner? Was that a member of the Shire Wolves?
Yep.
Okay, I just double checking. I just want to make sure. Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I consider her the GOAT. I just consider the Patriots the team GOAT. Rachel Cushing is the GOAT because she took what she knew, what she struggled with, and then became better, which is what I see happening with Janine. And
I understand that Harloff says that Sam's the most strategic player, but I think we have yet to see what Roxy's able to do. I have a feeling that she has a few aces up her sleeve. I think that she's coming for the league, and one of the people who's going to get her there, I think, is Stacey Howard.
And I think Stacey Howard is a great player, and to me, one of the most iconic because she's one of the women in the league that really elevated that. Okay, I don't see her becoming championship level. Okay, whereas Janine, who right now is not championship level, I see her becoming that with Sam Levine and Rachel Cushing in her corner.
Time's up.
Holy shnikey, guys. You guys want to take a good deep breath? Let's do some yoga together for a minute.
I'm centered.
I don't do yoga.
I'm good.
That was solid. That was great. What the fuck?
Whoa.
Sorry. You said yogurt, sorry.
I don't want any of that. Get that off my brain. That is some like.
I blame the old style.
I will. It's okay. I can blame my red line. All right, awesome. That's fantastic. You guys made some seriously wonderful arguments today. So Roxy with Stacey Howard. I'm not gonna lie, this personally one of the greatest team ups that I like takeaways from the draft that I was really into. So I was really curious to see your argument specifically. And I know you kind of mentioned that Janine is already badass. She's already she's inevitably going to get the belt. It's just a matter of just fine tuning just a few things. So does she really need Sam? And also, like you said, Cushing is like the unofficial advisor to the usual suspects. However, it's not confirmed. So, I mean, you can definitely make that argument. Sure, you can say that, but is she really? Well, you don't know. She could just be hanging out in Cuba for all we know. Messaging him good luck every once in a while. I don't know. But
I thought it was Boca.
Same with Janine. I mean, she's working with Sam, like you said, Jerry, the second greatest strategist in all of Schmoedown, and with Rachel in his corner, I mean, you got two champions right there at your beck and call in theory, so you can't deny that. Corey, what were some of your big takeaways regarding this kind of open debate?
Well, I think they both gave some really interesting points on each one, how they will do for the whole season. I think sorry, I'm losing words. Honestly, I think Jeremiah made some really good points on Janine and Sam about almost being there, and how with Sam to get that far. And then with Peggy, I got more of while improvement on the last argument, I think you did go for the underdog. You're describing it as like an underdog story, and I think that's a pretty good argument to make right there. But I think I'm more on Jeremiah on this one.
Okay, well, it's okay. We are okay with being on opposing sides here, but as I will take it down, regardless. Now, again, personal biases aside, is there any particular points that you really, or kind of going into it, Corey, that you're excited to kind of see them dive into a little bit extra?
I'm more interested to hear, because you're talking about singles. I have an interesting argument. I was wondering, how do you think? I forgot it.
Well, it's a Wednesday. It's a brain fart kind of situation.
I had a long day at work, so I'm literally fried. So I'm trying here, guys.
You are doing amazing. So no worries, no pressure at all. Okay. Now, specifically, I do kind of want you guys to point out in the closing statements, you guys have made wonderful arguments in terms of, going for specifically making people making your team up, amazing together. I do want you guys to point out why who you're going up against would, if anything, be a really bad team up. Why Janine and Sam? Why would they be a horrible team up together? And same for Roxy and Howard. Why would they clash more than anything? So I want you to, Jeremiah, I want you to kind of really, make Roxy and Howard seem like a horrible combination, and vice versa. I do want you, Peggy, to really kind of set in and talk about why Janine and Sam would be a horrible pair up together. Okay.
And also, I just wanted to interject because I remember now. Also, in the closing argument, I would like to also know, where do you think we will see each player by the end of the season? Is it going to be good? Do you think results will be good or bad?
I don't think anyone's going to be my competitor's going to fail. Fall in the face.
It's going to happen somewhere.
Both of them I feel are going to be amazing. But regardless, let's go ahead and go into the next the closing statement, starting with you. With Jerry. Go ahead with 60 seconds.
Go.
Okay, sorry. Okay. So what I would see with Roxy and Stacey is that Roxy has always said she wanted people that she could help with. Because the one thing she said she's never really helping with is the knowledge. Okay. So Roxy said she needed help with like entrances, with putting herself out more. Stacy is wonderful at that. Stacy has the best entrances.
Okay.
She puts herself out there beautifully. Okay. Stacy is a great player. Just, I don't see what Roxy could do to help her out unless she can get more knowledge into her, which I don't see as Roxy's strength. Okay. Whereas Sam Levine is not going to help you out with entrances. Okay. Sam Levine's entrances is horrible. Okay. Sam Levine is going to help you out with strategy, with doing what you need to do in people's heads, which Janine has not done. Okay. And for the Rachel Cushing argument, okay, there's a picture on the Facebook where Rachel Cushing says he's going to get Janine the Machine a belt. That's where I came out with that argument.
Time's up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I see you, Jerry. Okay, going over to Peggy, we're going to need you to hear. We would say we're going to need your arguments. Why Janine and Sam are a horrible combination together.
This is going to be a hard one to do because I think they're going to be fantastic together. But my argument that I'm going to make is that Janine is just on the brink right now. And Sam may very well get her over the edge and maybe be able to polish off those corners to her game, if you will, or just be able to give her some strategy. But I think that Roxy's going to have even more of an effect on Stacy's game. And even though Roxy can't really help with knowledge, I think Stacy can handle that all on her own. But Roxy can help out with the strategy of the game, whether you spin first or second, things like that. Tell her, like, get her to calm down, get her to focus, stuff like that. That's what makes or breaks a player in this league, or as far as my perceptive mind can fathom. Because obviously, I've never been on that stage. I don't really know how you do it. But I think if you're going to go with someone who's going to have the hugest effect on where that competitor was and where they will be at the end of next season, I think you got to go Roxy and you got to go Stacy. I think they're going to do great things.
5, 4, 3, 2. No time for a full countdown.
You guys have survived your second question.
You did.
Okay, now guys, just reaffirming everything that we just heard and said prior. Please feel free to vote right now. Feel free to vote at the end of the arguments, because we need your votes ASAP. I'm gonna include it again if you just joined us, because if you, let's say for example, we stop recording at 10:35 or something, and you vote at 10:40, you're shit out of luck, because your vote's not gonna count, because if we do not get it within this time slot, it doesn't matter, so because we're going to determine this winner within this little time frame. Okay, so well done, you guys. Is there any overall, how do you guys feel?
I think go ahead. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead first.
Okay. Thank you. Such a gentleman. I lost my train of thought now. I think I was able to make some valid points, even though I think I was a little bit of a disadvantage from the jump. So I'm feeling pretty good about it.
And what I gotta say is, what I figured out what the okay means, and I guess I say okay a lot. Didn't realize that until literally I'm on camera, so won't change this match.
I'm just waiting for Mr. Mackey to appear in the chat to just say mooncake.
I'm just writing a little not comeback, but a little response towards Frank Janish right now. He's I would be referencing how Frank is kind of mentioning here how if for you, Peggy, specifically, that I would be referencing how Roxy has helped manage Snyder. You can't deny that. Sure. It's really helped. He was was really vocal about how Roxy was really helped him. He was on the verge of retiring. He was like, I just need to take a break. It sucks. It's just taking too much out of me right now. But Roxy really turned me around, and he ended up getting a #1 contenders, up against, Paul Legama, and really doing amazing in that tournament. So you can't deny that. And yes, okay, Jeremy, I see you. Okay. All right. We are going to be going into our third and final question. This is one of my favorite questions of all time. As someone that converted my husband into a Schmoedown fan, this can get really personal. This can get really touchy. That's for sure. Do you guys have any friends or family that like Schmoedown as well, or is it more about just you guys?
You'll hear about it.
I got one.
All right, nice. And what about you, Jerry? Do you have any friends or family that's into Schmoedown as well?
Nope. I got a lot of friends, but they're all right here.
Oh, that's fair.
So.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, I love you too. Okay, we're going to go ahead and dive into it for third and final question. Corey, let's do it.
Okay. Final question. If I were to introduce the Schmoedown to a friend / partner, what is the first match I should show them? There's a lot of good choices, but I think we have two of the best.
Absolutely. Okay, so I know we said earlier, I think off camera, we talked about how fabulous this coin is. This beautiful coin. If you're part of the Action Army little patronage kind of thing, you get some of this coin. It's a really great coin. So on one side, we have Team Guy and Team Bateman. All right, so if you can see that. Okay, so who is going to be Guy in this sense? Jerry? You're going to be Guy, and so vice versa, you're going to be Bateman, Peggy, and so whoever is face up will be the one who has to give their opening statement first, okay? And
it fell.
Guy. So, Jerry, you got to make your opening statement first.
Wait, let me just set the clock, and you got 1 minute, Jerry. Go for it.
Okay, so they said if you were to introduce a Schmoedown to a friend or a partner, what is the first match I would show them? And I said, okay, I realized that. What I would show them is what all my friends and everybody I've ever known loves is Star Wars. So I went with the best Star Wars match of all time, Sam Witwer versus Ken Napzok for the title in Spectacular 2. Okay, this match has everything. It has Ken being a heel. It's showing when he turned from face heel in the pre-match interviews. Okay, it's showing Sam Witwer, who's known more than just a Schmoedown competitor. He's known as an actor. He's known as done a lot of different things, and it's showing knowledge, because that is, when it comes down to it, the Schmoedown is knowledge, and it is also character. You have that with Ken Napzok, one of the best characters of all time, and amazing knowledge.
Time's up.
Okay. Fantastic. So like you said, it just comes down to the combination of the intense knowledge, of each of these individual competitors, as well as the competitors themselves. I mean, going into it, there's a lot on each side, right?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So over you, Peggy.
And go.
Okay, let me set the scene for you. It's late March of last year. It is a very cold and rainy day in Chicago. I decided to stay home on this Sunday because there's no football in March. And I'm sitting there going down a YouTube wormhole. And somehow the algorithm brought this event into my feed, and I watched it, and I was hooked. I watched competitor after competitor go to the stage and leave the stage. A couple of them stayed there for a damn long time, and I watched this, all the entrances, the entrance music, the crowd going wild. I was hooked. I am, of course, talking about the Free-for-All 3. And why do I think it would be the best one to show a friend or a partner or a loved one to get them into the Schmoedown? It's because that's what got me into the Schmoedown. I might not have had the most intelligent arguments earlier because I'm still trying to get caught up on the backstory and the history of the whole Schmoedown. And that's hard to do when I'm already sucked into the fan leagues and trying to study for my own matches. But it's the Free-for-All 3 that you should show a friend. It'll get them in. I promise.
Time's up.
Okay, so like you mentioned, I know a lot of the main points, Peggy, that you really focused on was just how much energy the free-for-all has.
Mm-hmm.
It's over a long period of time. Obviously, there's so many competitors. You get a little bit of everything, and so even if you don't you don't feel for one competitor, there's another one right next to him that's going to be amazing that you fall in love with, right?
Yep.
Okay, well, you guys have 4 minutes to make your arguments. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right.
And we will begin now.
I think the free-for-all is the best because you get to see a little taste of most of the competitors that are in the Schmoedown. If you're going with the Ken Napzok versus Whitner match, it's a very niche little window of people who are diehard Star Wars fans. No offense, I respect the hell out of them. They have so much knowledge about the whole canon of that. It's impressive. But you eliminate a huge section of people who just love movies, and the free-for-all introduces you to the entire league. You can find out who's heel, who's face, who just all of a sudden just jumps on the scene like the kid did. It's the best way to introduce someone to the league, hands down.
The free-for-all is amazing, okay? You know what the problem is showing it to someone? It's 3 hours, over 3 hours. How many friends do you know that say, hey, I got something I want you to watch. You're going to love it. Sit down here for 3.5 hours.
You know who it is? People who binge watch stuff. And people who binge watch stuff are most likely going to be into the Schmoedown.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. But when it comes down to it, you need a hook. Okay. You need something to grab them in that first few minutes. Okay. The free-for-all is great, but it's great over a long period of time. Okay, it's great for people that know who's coming in. And I respect that that's what got you into it. But Star Wars got me into this. It wasn't this match, but this match is what got me into thinking this is a game that is amazing. Okay, this showed knowledge that I've never seen before. Okay, and being a Star Wars fan, that was crazy. Because I thought I was a big Star Wars fan, and then I saw this match.
See, and I would argue.
Go ahead.
No, you're still talking. Go ahead.
This match showed a powerful person who was beaten down, and it showed more of what the Schmoedown actually is. If they want trivia, they can go to Jeopardy, okay? There's a lot of trivia stuff out there, okay? Trivia isn't what gets them into the league. Trivia may get them into the league, but the characters, the work, the production, that's what keeps them, okay? That's what kept me.
And I would maintain that that's an argument to be made for the free-for-all, because the production of it all, everyone has their entrance music and the crowd going crazy when their favorite competitor rounds the corner to take the stage. And if you're talking about a hook, Bibiani being player number one, running the entire gamut, you're hooked from the first jump.
I'm not sitting there.
Star Wars is too niche.
I'm not going to get sitting there for 3.5 hours to realize he's going to do that. Okay.
You can pause.
I'm sitting. You can pause, yeah. And I did. When I watched the free-for-all, it took me 2 days to watch it. Okay. And I'm a diehard Schmoedown fan. But people have lives. Mm-hmm. This basically what you're asking your friend to do is take a whole day out of their life, okay, to do something that maybe you are very passionate about. But unless you love movies, which is not the most of the world, they don't love movies like we do. You need something else to get them into it.
But if you're trying to get somebody into the Schmoedown, you'd probably identify that they're going to be someone who's going to be into this. And if they're going to be someone who's into this, they're going to sit there and they're going to be hooked and they're going to watch for those 3 hours and they're going to want to come back for more.
And then when it comes down to it, this is, I think, all my friends, and if I had a partner, okay, so that's where I get them. Okay, but if we're talking about people in general, Star Wars is one of the most watched things in the world, movies in the world. It has the widest view of audience. You get people that think they know Star Wars and have them watch this, they'll realize this game is on another level than even they think they are.
And see, I think that's just too niche. I think as well loved as Star Wars is, not everyone knows all the deep cuts. Not everyone knows everything that they're arguing in there. So you kind of lose some people. You want something that's more inclusive and that free fall.
Everybody knows all the they ask.
Time's up.
Right. Okay, we're good, guys. Both of these matches are fantastic for so many different reasons. It's like picking a favorite child.
I don't have children.
You know what? It's like it's like this is harder than picking a favorite child. Yeah. So yeah, I remember I don't even like Star Wars, and I love this match, this Iron Man match. I'm not a huge fan of Iron Man matches in general, but I love this match. Now, I do kind of want you guys to go into the closing statements in particular. I want you guys to kind of dive in. You haven't really touched base on it at all, really not too much. Is that some of the character kind of going into it specifically. So I would love for you guys kind of in the closing statement specifically to Jerry, you didn't really I do want you to talk about you mentioned how they do have some character. You mentioned Ken is one of the most iconic Schmoedown competitors. You haven't touched base on that at all. So I would love for you to kind of talk about that a little bit, but also Whitwer. We haven't seen him since, unfortunately. So
we haven't seen him since 1952.
Yeah, well, I mean, like he's Exactly. We don't plan to ever see him again, unfortunately. But I would love you kind of to touch base on that. It seemed like a one and done. It will never happen again kind of situation. So like a moment in time. But also a free for all. We do get a free for all every year. However, we have one of the best performance in all of Schmoedown history in this match across the board, regardless of the league you participated, regardless if you're a face or whatever kind of fan you are, you cannot deny this performance going into it is one of the best we've ever seen, regardless of season, league, whatever it might be. So I really want you guys to kind of dive into that. Corey, specifically, was there any kind of like tidbits here and there that really kind of made you lean in one direction at all?
I think one thing I would like to hear in the closing arguments, I don't think I heard enough of this. Talk about like what are the stakes? Like, what were the stakes of these matches? Like how they set into motion for the future. I think that's what I want you to work on for your closing arguments.
Absolutely. What did it mean for upcoming matches and for future Star Wars and future free-for-alls? And what did it mean for Bibbs as well? All right. Okay. So
and
starting
Ken and Whitworth.
And Whitworth, yeah. But starting with the closing statement, our final closing statement of the night, going over to you, Jerry.
You can go now.
So the stakes in this match are epic. Okay, this is the first real Star Wars Championship match we had. Okay, we had a 5-way. Yes, it was there. Half the people didn't see it because you couldn't see it until way later. Okay, this was a match that was going to bring Star Wars to the thing. This is the match that made the Star Wars League the league that I love personally, my favorite league. Okay, because I saw the character of Ken Knapsack face to heel. Okay, keep that going through the match and see him butt up against Sam Whitworth, who, let's be honest, probably didn't know what was going on. Okay, but run with it because he's a great actor. Okay. I saw amazing knowledge. I saw amazing gameplay. I saw controversy. I saw it was a show, okay? Whereas the free-for-all is amazing, but the only thing they set up was that Bibbs can stand a long time.
All right. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's Knapsack is one of my personal favorite managers and personalities in general. So, I'm trying very hard not to be biased about this question.
No, Ken's great.
What is your favorite?
No, you're not being biased. Ken's great.
Yeah, he's wonderful. But I mean, like when it comes to making like personal calls and personal judgments about this argument, it's really I'm like, no, I can't unless he brings it up. I'm not going to do it. All right. Well, going over to Peggy for your opening statement. Go ahead at 60 seconds.
All right. Might disappoint you guys a little bit. I might not follow you because I already have a previous prepared statement. Let's go back to that date, March 31st, 2019. I watched the Free-for-All 3. I immediately texted my brother because my brother was the biggest wrestling fan I've ever known and a huge movie fan. We used to do movie trivia back and forth all the time. I'm like, if you've never heard of this, you need to check this out. Within a month, he was a Patreon. And the thing we talked about back and forth was the Schmoedown. In fact, unfortunately, he passed away prematurely this past July. And the last thing we ever spoke about was the Schmoedown. It was actually Kalinowski versus Janine and the Machine. So not only do I vote for the Free-for-All 3 to be the best thing to introduce someone to the Schmoedown, because I know it works. It worked with my brother. And it will forever hold a special place in my heart, as will the Schmoedown forever. And that's why I'm here, guys. It was Free-for-All 3. It's what you should show your friends.
And time is up.
Bring in the feels. Bring in all the feels. Absolutely.
So glad that.
Sorry, that was my trump card.
I actually got emotional there.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I personally, one of the big matches that really converted Lucas was the Smets-Kalinowski match. So I don't think it was just so much the match itself. I think it was Eric Rodriguez, Nerd Chronic, with those promos.
Yes.
I mean,
they're amazing. They're amazing. If he's in the chat, Eric, they're amazing. Keep it doing.
Oh my gosh. Every time I see him,
corruption player of all time.
He gets better every single time, too. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah. Absolutely. And they just keep getting better and better. And speaking of getting better and better, let's go ahead and dive into the open debate. You guys got 4 minutes. Let's do it. Go ahead.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing another.
We're doing another 4 minutes?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
sorry.
didn't we already do that?
We did 4 minutes on this.
I love this match.
Okay, we just did opening statements.
That was
That was
closing
the
statements.
closing
Closing
argument.
statements? Oh my gosh.
You
It
need
felt
to
like
drink
an
some more of
opening
that
statement.
energy drink.
It felt like an opening statement to me.
What's that? What's that drink
Never
you bought?
mind. Never
What is that
mind.
What's the drink?
Red Lion.
All right, for future reference.
Good note.
You don't have the White Claw.
I don't have any White Claw. I wish I did. But yeah, you are totally. You guys were totally right. Okay, so now I'm gonna include the Facebook page right here. So you guys, please go vote. We're going to go ahead and hang out and read some comments and everything in the meantime. Just give you guys a few minutes to go vote for who you guys think won this debate. Answer all 3 questions. How do you guys feel about Peggy with the free-for-all? But also Jerry, with the Iron Man match. Holy shnikes. Yeah. Okay, Corey, when did you become a fan?
Since the very beginning, when they did it back in 2014.
Really?
I wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
Yeah, I found out about the Schmoes through pretty much almost everybody that's been on Chill to Action recently through Jeremy Johns.
Oh wow! For quite a while.
Yeah, I was a fan of Jeremy Johns, and then I found out about because the Schmoes used to do this thing called the Your Viewers Award, just movie awards, which was like a mock Oscars to make fun of the Academy for snubbing movies that they think were good. So I watched that, and I was like, these guys are really good. I'm like, I want to see more. And I was just like, I used to watch their old show on the Toad Hop Network, After Buzz, and then I found out from the Schmoedown. I'm like, I love movies. Hey, I really like movies, and I'm a very competitive person. I do a lot of trivia. This sounds like fun. I started actually I think I started a little bit mediocre because the movies that they were talking about were more, and they comment on it a bit, where it's they're more aimed to they did a lot of Sly and Arnie, Point Break, that stuff. And when they moved it over to Collider, that's when it really started. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it's changed Schmoedown in general. Not only just competitors, but the production, everything in between, has changed since the very beginning. When Johns was around, that's crazy. Before we kind of go into about who won and everything, again, just kind of review some of the things that people are kind of saying in the chat. Thank you so much for people that are voting. We appreciate it. We love it. And a lot of love for Jeremy Johns. Absolutely.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're gonna get him. As much as I want him to come back, I don't think we're gonna get him back.
Yeah, I mean, you never know, for an exhibition match or something. That happens every once in a while. And my dear husband, Lucas, in the next room, he is just reaffirming you guys. Although I am hyped up, it's not from the claw, sadly.
Lucas, 5 more White Claw.
I wish I had the claw, actually. But, PC's mentioning old style. Cheers, Peggy. Love that.
Chicago.
Exactly. And how dare you, Paul? Who's hosting this thing? How dare you?
I'm right here, Paul.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Fantastic. Okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into the questions, the things real quickly. And I see not many of you guys had voted. What the flippity fuck? What the flippity fuck?
Okay.
If you guys do not vote in the next 3 minutes, tough shit. It's not going to matter. And I'm going to go ahead and do it right fucking now. Okay. Come on. Perfect. Okay. Do you guys, how confident do you guys feel right now about your questions? Is there one in particular you feel most confident in, or what?
I feel pretty confident in that third one. I think Star Wars is too niche. I think that should be one and done. It was an amazing. I just watched that match for the first time earlier before this episode.
Incredible.
It was an incredible match. I will grant you that. And yeah, I love Star Wars. I'm there on opening night with one of my best buddy Danny's. We've been there for the last trilogy. there's so many questions there that I would just never know, which is why I respect the people in IG, why I respect the Star Wars players, because you gotta dive deep for that. And I'm sure that's why you picked that. Because the knowledge.
Yeah, and one of the things is I'm not a movie fan. I mean, I like movies. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know when I come to a regular match. I'll know 2 answers the whole match, maybe if I'm lucky. In the free for all, I might have gotten 3 questions right in 3 hours.
Man, because I don't know a single Star Wars answer to question.
And just for the record, I love same here. I love what happened?
Interesting. I'm looking at the votes right now, guys, and I just want to mention a few things, and hopefully a few more people start voting away. Okay, so we have question number 1, which was what is the most iconic team in Schmoedown history? And the winner of that question was Peggy with the lead, with 10 out of the 12 votes. So well done, Peggy.
Well, that's the shower wolves for you.
Shower wolves.
I knew I was going to look at that.
The shower wolves did the heavy lifting on that one.
And that's who I was leading to.
All right, moving on to question number 2, which was, what is a new manager competitor that will be the best new pairing of the season? And the winner of that one was Roxy Stacy.
Wow.
Whoa.
I'm surprised at that one, honestly.
Yeah. So that means Peggy.
Let me do. I got this. And your winner, Peggy Gubbins.
Woo! Thank you.
Now, it's like, well done, Peggy. I know last night's exhibition match didn't go your way. However, you knocked it out of the park on your debut match, so congratulations. And I wanted to mention, I did want to give an extra minute to the third question because you guys are neck and neck. You guys both have 6 votes on each of your side. So that's why I was like, people, do you guys want to vote? We get one over. I mean, come on. Let's do it.
Let me get 1.
1 half, 13, 1 half 12 or something? You know what I mean?
Here's why I lost. Peggy's amazing. Okay, that's obvious. Okay. The other reason is there's a lot of Chicago people in here, and I'm wearing a Cardinals hat, so that might be.
I didn't even notice.
I'm from New York.
Excuse me, let me just change into something real quick.
Hold on.
I'm pretty sure Alex is St. Louis.
Chicago. I'm from New York City.
Alex, I live 4 blocks from Wrigley Field. Don't do it. Don't do it. I live 4 blocks from Wrigley Field. Don't do it. Are you enjoying Dexter Fowler? Are you enjoying Dexter Fowler?
I'm just gonna.
I'm sorry. You won 1 championship in 108 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're the greatest.
I worked at a bar a block and a half from Wrigley the night that happened. That was an epic night.
When you lose that much, it is epic when you finally win one.
Oh.
So I'm more of a football fan, so go Bears.
I don't care.
You don't even have a football team anymore. You don't have a team anymore.
Cardinal Nation. Thanks, babe.
What did I get stuck with against Kamaya again, Alex? What backfired in his and how did that go in his face?
Yay, sports.
I just flipped this sucker over. Okay. I feel like I'm on my way to game. It's baseball season coming up here pretty soon, so I gotta
pitchers and catchers reported to camp.
What?
I said pitchers and catchers have reported to camp.
Yep, that's true. My grandpa is actually a Cardinals pitcher, so we take a lot of pride.
Yeah, that's cool. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and Peggy, I'm going to take you off the screen and we're going to do a quick few questions for Jeremiah. So excuse me, we can go chat with it. Jeremiah, how you feeling?
A lot better than I was before this aired.
Well, I know you are, every time we're in the chat when it comes to the generals, I mean, Lucas even mentions it. He's like, Jeremiah, he's like, I may not agree with him all the time, but I definitely completely see a lot of his points, and he's definitely right a lot of it. And so there's no denying you're really fantastic at it with your arguments overall.
Yeah, it's just I'm not great speaking. That's the best way to put it. So I'm better when text, so.
Maybe. But regardless, I mean, it was like a really solid matches overall. I mean, honestly, I was like personally kind of voting in your favor. I mean, like, I love the Shirewolves. But when I was listening to your arguments, personally, I would have voted in favor of the Patriots. But that's just me, though. Yeah. It's when it comes to like specifically going with your arguments, do you feel like there's any point you kind of wish that you made newer points or counterpoints or anything against Peggy?
No. The only thing I couldn't see, my problem is I couldn't get on the Shirewolves because they're the Shirewolves. They're amazing. Well, I still agree with my argument. They're the Shirewolves. I mean, how do you argue against them? So that was my hardest part.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. I mean, it's the Shirewolves. I mean, they can do no wrong. They really can. Now, before we kind of move it over to move over to Peggy. Corey, do you have any questions for Jeremiah?
I just want to say
everything. So,
wait, what did you just say? I'm sorry.
I know you're a fan leaguer and everything. You're really into you're really great when it comes to the knowledge and everything, which Jeremiah has. So,
no, I just wanted to say that if it makes you feel any better, I like to talk as well, but sometimes, as you see here, I can slur a bit. I'm also a text guy too. So, I just want to know, like, I just want to know that I do know that you do come from the. I've seen you over at movie Battleground with the Star Wars exhibition stuff. So I had a feeling coming in that you were going to be a threat. So I was wondering, like, do you see anything different with Star over there compared to this? It's like, do you see any difference?
Well, the big difference there is I think I got a match coming Sunday. The big difference is they do more than just movies, which is the hardest part.
Of course.
I got the movies down, and I love my Rebels, and that's the hardest part of the difference between that and a lot of this stuff. This is so movie focused, and I'll be honest, I'm not movie focused. I started watching movies like six years ago, so except for Star Wars I've watched all my life.
Oh well, I can tell you simply for the record that I didn't really get starting movies until I was like a sophomore in high school, which was like 9 years ago. And because I had no direction in life, and I got a really good direction, I'll just say this: it's really, once you start, it gets easier and easier. And now it's like once you start, you just can't stop, and it always gets better and better. And Alex, you know very well how that goes.
Not even kidding. It's when you find your thing, it just kind of grows from there, and it's definitely a passion for sure. You just don't stop. You just keep going. You keep pushing. Okay, awesome. Now, Jerry, where can we find you? Where can we kind of keep up to date with you and everything you're doing and all that good stuff?
Well, I'm on Facebook. It's Jeremiah Morris. Twitter, I don't know. Check the link of this video with Twitter and Action Army. I love the Army. They're the reason I'm still in the Schmoedown, and I'll be here, live or die. I'm Army for life.
And you sponsor Will Slices.
I have done that, and that's one of my proudest moments. Is not only did I sponsor 2 wheel slices, they both ended up on the family. So that was pretty cool.
Do you have any wheel slices coming up that we should be aware of?
Spike Lee
no,
movie.
And
the Jerry family Medea movies.
When I sponsored those, I sponsored them specifically trying to get them for Janine and Rachel Silverstreeny, but it ended up on the family. So it is what it is.
And also, I just want to reaffirm with both you and Jerry, you and Peggy, I apologize, that both of you guys, when it comes to your answer, was wrong. The correct, most iconic team in Schmoedown history was actually Team Action. So, you both are wrong. All right.
I probably lost that whole thing because I didn't say that. Let's be honest, okay?
Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Thank you so much, Jerry. We'll talk to you soon, and inevitably, I'll probably talk to you in like 20 minutes in the general's chat or something.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Bye, Jerry.
Bring it up, our champion for today, Peggy. How's it going, girl?
It's going pretty good. Exact opposite result as opposed to last night. So that's a plus. That's a good thing.
Absolutely. How you feeling? I mean, like you went into your first debate. I know you just started getting part of this whole fan league nation and everything very recently, and being a part of like these episodes and top 10 lists and everything is a very new experience. So how does it feel actually being part of something like this where you're kind of actively debating like that?
It's a brand new experience. I think that's part of the reason why I couldn't really make any solid, significant, real points. Like the Shire Wolves did the heavy lifting for my points there because they're the Shire Wolves. Because I am so new. I've been a fan of this league for less than a year, but I've been trying to deep dive as much as I can because I do have a passion for it.
Of course.
And yeah. And Jeremiah made some great paints. And when you mentioned the wheel slices, I'm like, that's where I know his name from. I've heard it announced when the sponsored wheel slices have come up. But it was a great debate. I had fun. I thank you for having me. It was great.
Absolutely. Oh, you cannot wait to have you back for sure. Corey, you're a fan leaguer and Peggy's a fan leaguer. I was like, are you intimidated all that much? I was like, when it comes to you, Peggy, like, is there anything you're kind of curious about as a potential competition?
I just like to keep things close to them. I don't want to say anything bad about any opponents because it's like if you say anything or you underestimate, like how many times have I said, like, I don't know how many times, Alex, have I said that I underestimate myself a lot of times. I usually don't say that anymore, but what I'll say is I've seen Peggy play for a while and she's been pretty good. She's been pretty good. So I will not I always love a challenge when I play somebody new. So
Absolutely.
I always say, bring it, everybody.
Yeah, I have a lot of work to do. I've discovered that from being in the fan leagues. I'm nowhere near any Schmoedown level, but I aspire to it. And you want to know it? I'm so happy that I found the Schmoedown. I'm so happy that I am a part of the fan league. I'm so happy that I've met Call to Action. It's a great community to be a part of, and it came along at a point in time in my life where I really truly needed it. And so I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we are always here for each other. Schmoedown is nothing if all about its community and finding, being able to kind of support each other in every way we can. So thank you so much for not only being part of the fan leagues and being part of this whole thing, which is, not to brag, but it's pretty fun. We do, Schmoedown is pretty great to be a part of as a fan. But thank you so much for being like a fan of Chill, of Call to Action in general, but also Schmoebates. We can't wait to have you on again as another competitor soon.
And I won't freeze on the first question next time, hopefully.
You also got a lot of love, from Paul, Danny, Jeremy, Danny again, Garth, and last but not least, Lucas. So you are definitely getting, lots of love across the board, mentioning some congratulations. All right.
And I said, I'm all about the love. It goes right back to you guys.
It's all good. It's definitely circling around for sure. All right. For future reference, where can we find you and see what you're doing with everything?
Well, if anyone's a member of the Multiplex Fan League, I have a match that's debuting tomorrow. Should be a fun watch. I encourage everyone to tune in. It's my team That's What She Said versus Team 2319. It is an excellent match. I encourage you all to watch. I co-host a show called Fantasy Film Fights that airs Wednesdays earlier than Schmoebates, so you can watch that and then watch Schmoebates. I encourage you to watch both. What the show is we take random fantasy topics or random film topics and we draft them fantasy style. Today we drafted best movie villains or favorite movie villains. So yeah, and next week's topic is movies with three-word titles. So that could go any which way. So I would encourage you to tune in.
I'm into that. I guess that definitely gets you thinking for sure.
It does. And you don't have to have like encyclopedia knowledge of movies. It's just your favorites, what you feel. Your list is your own. It's all love, no pressure. I encourage you to come join. Just like it is here, you know, we just sit here, have a good time, debate some topics.
Absolutely. I'm all for arguing and debating. And speaking of which, thank you so much, Peggy. Congratulations. We're definitely going to have you on again as a winner of your first Schmoebates. So that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Please hang tight for right after in the stream, and we'll see you then. Okay. Oh, whoopsie. Well, I just kind of cut her off in mid-thing. Sorry, Peggy. I apologize. All right, Corey. I know you haven't. We're just finalizing and wrapping it up. Thank you so much for coming on last minute again to be part of this Valentine's Day themed episode of Schmoebates.
My pleasure.
All right. Do you think should we expect you as a competitor anytime soon or anything?
I think you know the answer to that question. No, because you know how much. You know how much I don't like to debate. So sorry.
You're right. It's all about the judgment. All right. Pascal and Jeremy and, so many people are definitely giving you some love in here in the chat. So, Corey, great job. Thank you so much for being on this. I really appreciate it. And I know you are everywhere in the chats. You do a bunch of stuff with a bunch of shows. So is there anything that you're kind of doing right now you want everyone to know about?
Well, before I get to that, I can just plug real quickly. If anyone wants to find me, you can find me online on Facebook. I have my own reviewing show. I have my own reviewing blog, Corey's Quick Reviews, reviewing new movies every week. Short, sweet, to the point. You can also find me on Letterboxd, Twitter. I don't really use Twitter, so good luck with that. And then if you're not finding me there, you can find me in the fan leagues, whenever you can. In fact, I don't know which way. Which way? Yeah. I think this person manages. I don't know about who this is, but this person might manage me in certain matches. So if you need a manager, hit up, call Alex. We'll talk. But as far as going forward, I do have a match coming up next Tuesday. Actually, this is going down next Tuesday, I believe, at 8:00 on Eastern Standard Time on Full Metal Trivia. I'm going to be doing a Full Metal random Oscars match between Manny Franks and Caleb Boatman. And if you want to see Oscar trivia, come for it. Boatman, yeah, I just have to say one thing. Boatman, you joined up with Coho. You just and you know exactly what happens when you join up with him. So be ready, because I'm determined to because I have a couple wins over you, and I'm determined to make sure that undefeated record stays undefeated.
Absolutely. I mean, I can't wait to do some more training with you here later this week. It's going to be so much fun. I've written a whole bunch of questions. It's going to be all down a bag of chips. And I am Alex Mack, part of the Call to Action crew here. And I run Schmoebates every single Wednesday at 9:30 Central, 7:30 Pacific, though. But yeah, we would love it if you actually made it a regular thing. If you come and hang out with us, please like and subscribe to this. We're having a personal goal to reach 1,000 subscribers here within the next few weeks. It is a huge goal of ours. We worked really hard, and we really want to kind of see it go through. It would be something we've been working on actively for a while. And but yeah, please do that, and please comment. Do you like this? I mean, do you like these questions? Were they good questions? Were they sucky questions? Whatever. We also love feedback. And if you actually want to compete or potentially judge here with me, I do run Schmoebates overall. I mean, to its fruition. So please feel free to reach out to us on Call to Action Pod on Twitter or on our Facebook group at Call to Action Pod podcast, fan page as well. But also we are just starting to go through actually have our podcasts and everything go through. So not only on here as YouTube, but we're actually available now on Apple Podcasts as well as Spotify and a whole bunch of other.
Cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Congratulations.
It's just taken a while to actually get there. But finally.
Once you get there, it opens the floodgates forever.
Exactly. That's the goal for sure. So yeah, thank you guys so much. On Friday, we do have our very own Valentines Day thing with the ladies of Call to Action. Danny, Kelsey, and I, the birthday girl, we're all going to be hanging out and drinking claw, and it's going to be a fun time. So please hang out for Valentine's Day, whatever you want to celebrate. All right. Well, thank you so much again, and we'll see you next week on Schmoebates.
Bye, everybody.